great. I'm doing pretty good. It's my day off, so I'm just kind of hanging around, chilling, doing whatever. And I figured we would talk about something that I've never talked about on my channel before, which isn't hard because I don't have very many videos up. And this video will go into kind of paranormal things. If you're not cool with that, if that kind of thing freaks you out, you might want to turn off this video. But it is something that really interests me, really intrigues me. All the different aspects of paranormal phenomenon, I guess you would say. I've never been ghost hunting. I would enjoy going, I think, if I didn't get too scared. I am kind of easily scared. And I'm going to take my glasses off. I am fairly easily scared, so I don't know exactly how that would go. And it's kind of hard. It's actually really hard being like me. I have a huge fascination and interest in paranormal, but I'm very easily scared. I'm very easily scared. And it kind of will stick with me too. Like, it may not bother me so much at the time and when it's daylight, but once it starts getting dark and I'm alone or I'm trying to go to sleep, I mean, it's all up in my head and it freaks me out. A lot of people in my family have sort of some paranormal stories. They don't really like to talk about them unless, you know, it's just a small group of people maybe, and it could easily be said, oh, I was just making it up or something. Because, I mean, a lot of times those kind of stories can cause a lot of, like, cause a stir and can cause some ridicule. Because some people think you're crazy if you believe in it. Some people, I mean, when you've had an experience, even if you used to be a non-believer, when you've had an experience, you kind of can't not believe. You have to. I mean, you see it with your eyes. I mean, sometimes you could be like, oh, I'm crazy. I was hallucinating. I was tired. I was sick. Whatever the situation may be. But you kind of know when you have that experience. If you haven't ever had an experience before, you can believe and all that. But it really, really takes an experience to really set that solid and like, yes, okay, I know. I've seen it with my eyes. Whatever it may be. Whether it's ghosts or UFOs, which is my biggest thing. I'm totally into UFOs and aliens and all of that kind of thing. It's so interesting to me. It fascinates me so much. Aliens, UFOs, that's my thing. I've seen a couple UFOs, and I will get more into those in different videos. I originally intended, when I pushed record on this video, was going to be telling my most recent UFO experience, but I think this video is just gonna be my talking about different paranormal things, and if anybody's interested in it, I will make videos of my experiences with different paranormal phenomenon, whether it be ghost, UFO, Bigfoot, chupacabra, whatever else. I know it might bring hate and stuff onto my channel, which I don't like. I don't want my channel to be a negative place, but I would like to share my experiences with other people, because I know I've been on YouTube very many times. It's easy to find a paranormal experience when it comes to ghosts or spirits or whatever that may be. It's pretty easy to find videos on that. But as for like UFO and alien type experiences, it's a little hard. I've been on there multiple times looking, hoping there have been new videos posted, whatever. I've only found a handful of videos that is actually someone telling about their experiences. I don't know if it's because they're scared to post them or not, but I mean, if I can, you know, me telling my stories, my experiences can get other people to not feel as scared to share theirs, I mean, that's great, because I want to hear your story. I mean, I know it's hard to believe a lot of people's stories because you don't know. You don't know if they're serious, if they're just trying to get views, or they're just trying to get attention, whatever it may be. But, I mean, I know most of y'all watching this don't know me. You don't know me in person. You don't know if I'm lying or telling the truth. But I'm going to tell you right now that any, like, paranormal experience story I tell and I post is going to be true. There's no point in lying about that kind of thing. That just ruins the credibility of people who are telling the truth. And we don't want to do that because the paranormal community gets so much ridicule as it is. And I don't want that. I mean, that's terrible. I mean, paranormal experiences are, I feel like they're experienced by people for a reason. And certain people for a reason. I do have a couple of UFO experiences. Some of them aren't very in-depth. They didn't last that long or whatever. And, I mean, any of you may be like, hey, that's nothing. That's no kind of UFO experience. Well, to me it was. I believe it was. And I think every one of them, I was not alone outside. Like when I seen them or had this certain experience, there were other people around me and could, tell you the story as well. And if I possibly can, I will maybe get them in the video too, if you guys want to see the videos and I make them. But I might not be able to pull those strings because they may be a little bit iffy about coming on the internet and talking about that. Bigfoot, that is also another thing that I'm really interested in. I have not personally had a Bigfoot experience. I know that's one of those things that a lot of people ridicule too, that there's a big hairy ape man. Well, in different cultures there are different explanations and descriptions of what a Bigfoot is. Like there's skunk ape, swamp monster, Bigfoot, Yeti, all that kind of stuff. And in other countries even, there's even more wide variety of things. And I do know people who have had Bigfoot experiences. I would like to make a video anyway talking about that and talking about my take on the Bigfoot legend and maybe talk about some evidence that I've seen that I think is real or not, like the Patterson footage. I believe that was their last name. That's what that was called. But I could tell secondhand some of the stories that people in my family have experienced, if y'all would like to see that, because they're pretty interesting. And yeah, and they seem to mostly kind of culminate in one area too, one area on my grandparents' land that they own where I grew up. So if y'all want to know about that, let me know, and I'll secondhand tell them. They may not be heavy on details because it's been a while since I've heard them. And chupacabra, have any of y'all heard of that? See, I used to be really big, and I still am, it's just it's kind of hard to find them now. I used to be really big on all those paranormal shows and the documentaries on all the different paranormal things. I used to watch them with my mama a lot. And since I don't live beside her anymore, it's kind of hard. But, so that was one I've watched a lot. I've watched some of, because there's a lot of, discussion and controversy over what a chupacabra is. I'll also make a separate video on that, because I have had an experience that, call me crazy, but I have had an experience of something that could have been a chupacabra, alright? The way they explain them anyway, the way they describe them. They're commonly described as the goat sucker or cow sucker. Basically, it's kind of a vampiric type animal, cryptid, whatever you may call it. And I had an experience one time that I think could have been a chupacabra. And I mean, I didn't see like its face and like bright red eyes, but what I saw, it wasn't a dog or a deer or anything. And I've lived in the South all my life, or most of my life, and I know what those things look like. I know what kind of run around here, and this was not one of them. I will tell that story in a different video if you would like. I think it's kind of important. It can be important to get this kind of stuff out there because, like I was saying, sometimes people are scared to talk about it, and you know, if you make an effort to like kind of put your own stories out there, it can inspire other people and make other people not feel as afraid to talk about theirs. And I used to watch Destination Truth a lot, so there was a lot of different legends that Josh Gates and his crew went after and like really kind of tried to debunk or whatever, and I really love that show. I know it's very debatable on whether anything they did was legit or not. It's hard to say that when it's a TV show because, I mean, they're going to get paid for it. So, is it real? Is it not real? I mean, whatever. Opened my eyes to so many different legends around the world that I would, you know, I have looked more into. I would like to look more into. And, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of legends around the world of different things. Some of them are the same things that, you know, we have here, and by here I mean the United States. They just may be called something else or has slightly different, especially if you're from a different country and you're watching this. Let me know of some, like, any kind of like cryptid or paranormal being that is like, I guess, originated in your country or is like a local thing, a local story, local legend. I'd like to know. And even if you're from here, from the US, and you have some that may not be just, you know, Bigfoot or whatever, or it's a little bit different than the common, like, Bigfoot, chupacabra, whatever. And if you've had experiences yourself, please let me know. I'd love to hear it. Loch Ness Monster. Just thought of that one. Also, never had an experience with that. I don't know about that one. I've never had an experience, so I feel I can't really give my opinion on that because I have not experienced it myself. I'm not going to say it doesn't exist just because I haven't experienced it. And, I mean, if I had an experience, obviously I'd be like, that exists, but I can't say it does or does not exist simply for the fact I have not had an experience. But I will say, I mean, it's a possibility. I mean, it may not be some kind of, like, aquatic dinosaur that still lives from way back when, but, I mean, there could easily be giant things that live underwater that, I mean, that we don't really know about because, I mean, there's a lot of water, like some of the the big lakes and rivers and oceans that have not been explored. I mean, there's no telling what could be under there. I mean, come on. Just like the forests and stuff around the world that haven't been explored. I mean, there's no telling what could be hiding in these deep in these places that we don't know. On here and tell a story. My latest UFO story, and it's actually from a couple months ago. It's not like last night or anything, but I do have it written down. I'd written it down like right after it happened because I didn't want to forget the details and stuff. Would love to visit Roswell one day. I haven't been able to yet. I would love to visit Roswell. Area 51 totally interests me, which that's not a place you can really visit. Because, I mean, if you get too close, they, you know, threaten to shoot you or whatever. But, to go to these different places that are, like, hotbeds for UFO sightings and see what I could see, basically. See what I could experience. Like, kind of like ghost hunting, but UFOs, you know. Going now, and please take a moment to hit the button below and subscribe. especially if it's your first time here. Or even if it's not and you're not subscribed, please subscribe. And like, comment, thumbs up, all that good stuff. And yeah, stay tuned for more videos. I love you guys. Bye. Excuse me.